The city of Cebu is known for her unique and beautiful tourist spots and heritage places. When you go to the famous Magellan's Cross, you can still feel the ancient times when the Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan placed the cross when he first stepped in the lands of Cebu as a sign of Christianity and acceptance of the religion. Have you ever been to a place filled with spellbinding beauties, awe, and wonders? Welcome to Cebu City. I'm convinced that you'll agree that our city has outstanding arrays of attraction, shop, and entertainment. Our city is named as the Queen City of the South since it has all the characteristics of a royal highness when you look and explore the wonders of the city. Also, she is rich in museums and man-made structures, which shows the early living of our native people millions of years ago. One can never leave without having a nice compliment to that certain place. You can never regret coming in Cebu, for it is all the breathtaking scenes that you may never experience for the rest of your life. You may not know, so I would like to share that our city is the home of the stars. It is because of the simple reason that most of the famous singers and actresses are all coming from Cebu City. This proves that our city is full of talented people. One of the icons in the entertainment and showbiz industry are Kim Chiu, Regine Velasquez, and Vina Morales. Also, our city, as the most of the people around the world know, has hospitable people which can drive someone to come back to the city more often. Cebuanos are all kind-hearted and welcoming to all foreigners, and one of the traits that we have that is not usually seen in other nationalities is the fact that we Cebuanos and all Filipinos can laugh even in hard times and problems. So, I have shared the briefest magic of our city. Don't have doubts to visit, so you will never regret in the end. Cebu City, the Queen City of the South, here in the Philippines, is always welcome to share her magnificence for others to enjoy.
Hello tourists, good morning. My name is Jennie A. Salimbot, but you can call me Jen.
I am Val Napoleon Retiza. You can call me Val.
Hello tourists, I am Jesiel Samantha Racal, and you can call me Jess.
Hello tourists, I am Argean Salo, and you can call me Jane.
And my name is Joann Ruelan, you can call me Anne, and we are your tour guide for today.
We would like to extend a warm greeting to you all on behalf of City Glide Travel and Tours. And now we're off to discover the wonders of Cebu City, the Queen City of the South. Are you all pumped up, guys? Okay, let's begin our tour with a prayer. Now I'd like to introduce our coach captain. Captain Johan is a 5-year veteran driver who will ensure that we have a safe and enjoyable journey. And now let's take a head count, first starting with you, ma'am. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're all 20. Thank you for your cooperation, everyone. And while we are heading to our destination, I'd like to provide you a few friendly reminders and safety tips. First and foremost, please remain seated until we get at our destination. Second, please raise your hand and ask me if you can hear or comprehend what I am saying. To avoid unnecessary loss, never leave your belongings unattended. And please stick with your group at all times and remember our bus number, which is 6. While we are waiting to our first destination, let me tell you some information about Cebu City. Cebu, known as the Queen City of the South, is known to be a place of reverent people, the Cebuanos. The locals of this vibrant province in the Central Visayas are affectionate and appreciative of its culture, embodying values and mindsets. Cebu City is considered as the oldest city in the Philippines. Cebu is the center of trade, commerce, tourism in the Visayas. With ancient Spanish forts, incredible marine parks, mouth-watering food, and thriving business parks, there are a lot of experiences to be had in Cebu, both for business and pleasure. Background of our itinerary will begin at Plaza Independencia, Fort San Pedro, Basilica Minor del Santo Niño, then lunch, Colon Abilis, Argean, Yap Santiago House, Casa Gordo, Museo Sogbo, and lastly the Cebu Taoist Temple, and head back to Radisson Blu Hotel. Now we are here in our first destination, which will be guided by Argean Salo.
Now, we are here our first destination. Good morning! Buenos dias everyone! We are now at the first heritage of Walk Cebu, the Plaza Independencia. Let me introduce myself. I am Argean Christine and I will be your tour guide for this heritage. Before anything else, please don't forget our friendly reminder and don't forget to bring your important things. So, before we enter the area, we must follow the rules of the place. First, we must wear face masks and sanitize alcohol for our own safety. Second, foods and drinks are not allowed. Third, we must observe silence and avoid touching books, artifacts, artworks, and any items that preserve in the area. Lastly, just enjoy and appreciate while viewing the area. Everyone, welcome to the Plaza Independencia. The Plaza Independencia grounds feature a historic triangular fortification known as a Fort San Pedro. It also has a monument which was built in honor of Spanish navigator Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, who also became the first Governor-General of the Philippines, and a fountain. It also has other monuments dedicated to other figures such as chronicler Antonio Pigafetta, President Ramon Magsaysay, to war veterans, and other ground tunnel built from 2009 to 2011 connect mainland Cebu City to the South Road properties. Let me share you about the short story of Plaza Independencia. From the course of the year, Plaza Independencia plays different functions to the rich history of Cebu and was renamed many times. Originally called Plaza de Armas in 16,000, when the plaza was used as a military training and parade ground. It later had its expansion to reach nearby properties of the Cathedral of Cebu and was called Plaza Mayor. During the Spanish era, its name was changed in Plaza Maria Cristina in the honor of prevailing queen in 1855. Its name was changed again to Plaza Libertad during the American colonial period and became a symbol of Cebuano liberation from the Spanish rule. When all colonizers left the country, the plaza became the well-known Plaza Independencia. To acknowledge its true freedom, there came a time when the plaza suffered from the security and environmental management issue which the government solved in 2007. It reopened in 2011 and became a haven for local and foreign tourists. The plaza was revamped with a modern design that responds to the transformative and economically competitive in Cebu. Another interesting things to see in Plaza Independencia, Legazpi, Oblique, Cebuanos sure love Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, there are two monuments dedicated to the Spanish conquistador in the plaza. This obelisk, which looks more like a lighthouse, which would be more appropriate, was commended for Queen Isabella II in 1855. So, Taurus, are you with me? Okay, thank you. You have something about the Plaza Independencia? Okay, good for you, guys. You can wander around for 5 minutes, tourists, so be mindful of the time because we're visiting for San Pedro, Cebu. Hello tourists! Did you enjoy in Plaza Independencia? Okay, mayong pag-abutin ni sa Subo ug mayong buntagan yung tanan. It's Argean again here and your tour guide for today. And today we will be in first time exhilarating travel down our historic Fort San Pedro, Cebu. Before anything else, please don't forget our friendly reminders and don't forget to bring your important things like your cell phones, bags, and etc. So before we enter the area, we must follow the rules of the place. First, we must wear the face mask and sanitize alcohol for our own safety. Second, food and drinks are not allowed. Third, we must observe silence and avoid touching books, artifacts, artworks, and any items that preserved in the area. Lastly, just enjoy and appreciate while viewing the area as we discovered Fort San Pedro, Cebu. Now, we are here our second stop, the Fort San Pedro, Cebu. Fort San Pedro, Cebu was built by the Spaniards under the command of Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, also known as Adelantado and El Viejo, a Spanish navigator and governor and the first governor of the Philippines. The original Cebu were built right after the arrival of Legazpi, which was made of wood. It was then replaced in the 7th century with a stone fort to drive Muslim raiders away. Let me share you the short story of the Fort San Pedro, Cebu. Established in 1565, Fort San Pedro, Cebu is the oldest fort in the Philippines and one of the most visited tourist spots here in Cebu City, similar to Manila's Fort Santiago. It served as a military defense structure during the 17th century. Here, you all discover the story of the province, the Spanish government, and well-preserved Spanish artifacts. About 14 canyons can still be found in what has become a leisure park today. At the end of the 19th century, during the Philippine Revolution, the fort was attacked and taken by the Filipino revolutionaries who used it as a stronghold. Another interesting fact about the fort is that shape is triangular, 2 sides facing the sea and 3 sides facing the land. The 2 sides facing the sea were protected with canyons, and the front with a strong fence made of wood. Tourists, you've learned about the Fort San Pedro? Okay, that's good. There's not much to do here except sit and relax and take a picture of the monument as a souvenir. Everyone, it has been such a great time being here with you, and I am glad that I have been your tour guide for today, and I hope you enjoyed our time together as it has been to me. And now that we have completed our second stop, we can return to the bus. Please ensure that your important items are with you. And thank you very much for your cooperation, motorist. Miss Jennie Salimbot will lead you to our next destination.
everyone! My name is Jennie and I'll be your tour guide for the 3rd and 4th stops. The Kakin Shopping Center is to your right, and it has a lot of reasonably priced items such as appliances, cookware, furniture, toys, clothing, and many other things. Also, the Cebu Technological University is also visible on that side. That institution of higher education is publicly sponsored, non-sectarian, and co-educational. Now we are here in our 3rd stop. Welcome to Basilica Minor del Santo Niño. But first, allow me to remind you to kindly be mindful of your positions, especially when using electronic devices, and please follow the instructions and signage within the church and form groups of 5 when wandering about. Okay, let's get started. Basilica Minor del Santo Niño is Cebu's oldest Catholic church. The image of Santo Niño is kept inside the church. Santo Niño, the city's patron saint, is a black holy child who represents Jesus. Every year, a huge number of people visit it for prayer and pilgrimage. Santo Niño was planned to be constructed entirely of bricks, following a fire in 1602 and the demolition of the church roofing and facade in 1729. Father Jose Basquet contemplated constructing a much larger church. Construction began in 1730 after obtaining funding and labor assistance. However, they discovered that the humid climate of Cebu is unsuitable for a brick church, as they quickly decay. The project was then demolished and stones were used in its place. They then began gathering stone supplies from Karkar, quarries of Mactan Island, Capiz, and Panay, which would later serve as the church foundations. Let me tell you some brief story about this church. Miguel Lopez de Legazpi called Basilica Minor del Santo Niño a San Agustin Church. The exact location of the church is the same spot where Legazpi's Spaniard trope discovered the image of Santo Niño. It was thought to be the gift of Ferdinand Magellan to Queen Juana, the wife of Raja Humabon, as a sign of their allegiance and over 40 years after their baptism to Christianity. Do you know that during the World War II bombardment of the church, the image of Santo Niño of Cebu miraculously survived? Yes, the image of Santo Niño of Cebu is the Philippines' oldest surviving Catholic relic. What makes Santo Niño so dark? Thank you for that wonderful question. The majority of the expensive diamonds he wears today are donations from Basilica worshippers and patrons. Throughout the decades, the image has been subjected to many mishaps and distortions. An Augustinian, for example, painted him black in the late 1800s, and the Santo Niño became black. Now you can go wherever you want, have fun, and stay safe. Hello, are you finished? Have you gone around the whole church? Okay, let us proceed to our next destination. We're on our way to our 4th stop, the Colon Obelisk. As you can see, the road is lined with a wide variety of vendors. There are even tiny stalls selling shoes and sandals. Due to their affiliation with a city-registered group, Cebu City only permits 100 merchants to remain on the sidewalks at any given time. They are required by their registration to abide the city's rules on street vending or risk having their registration suspended. Okay, so we've just arrived at the Colon Obelisk. Before we begin, remember to always be cautious with your positions. If you have a little rucksack, turn it toward you and be conscious of your surroundings. An obelisk situated at the tip of Colon Street, that which signifies its historical origin. A pillar made of granite that stands tall and is a great symbol in our history. The writings on the obelisk will give you a good sense of the historical events that took place in that area. Let me tell you some brief story. Colon Street's origin traces back to the town plan by Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. This busy street was designed as a part of the first Spanish settlement in Cebu, the Villa de San Miguel. Colon was named after Cristobal Colon, Spanish translation for Christopher Columbus, the Italian explorer who made the discovery of the New World. In 1565, they built an obelisk to be a reminder of how and when it all began for the Cebuanos Colon. Now, some of you might be wondering what an obelisk is and what it's for. An obelisk is a tall, four-sided, becomes narrower type of monument with a tip that's shaped like a pyramid, as you can see there. Obelisks play a significant role in the religion and were well thought in the architecture of the ancient Egyptians. The Greeks used the word obeliskos to describe them, and it reached Latin and ultimately English. Okay, I hope you have learned a lot. Do you have any more questions? If none, I can snap some photos of you right now. Alright, we can board the bus again for our next stop in 10 minutes. We're on our way to our 5th stop to be guided by Jess.
Hello again, tourists. I am Samantha, Racal, your guide for the 5th stop. Let me all remind you to always wear your face mask. Since the weather is so hot, we will provide you an umbrella. Are you guys ready? Yes, let's go! And now we are here in Parian, which is one of the oldest and most historic places in the country. Parian was a small community of the Chinese traders in the 16th century. At the turn of the present century, Parian was the residential area of the city's wealthiest families. The area remained a public place where it was variously the site of the schoolhouses, a firehouse, and a local library. As you can see along the way, it is the Heritage Cebu Monument. The construction of the monument began in July 1997 and it was finished in December 2000. It was built by the National Multi-Award artist Eduardo Castrillo.
What is the message of the sculpture?
Wow, you are really very interested. So I will answer your question. The message of the sculpture is the baptism of Ra Humabon, a procession of Santo Niño, a Roman Catholic Mass, and the Battle of Mactam between Lapu-Lapu and Ferdinand Magellan. The monument artistically displays key historical figures, events, and structures that involved Cebu. And now, feel free to roam around. Alright, is everybody done taking pictures? I think it's all done, and alright, let's go back to the bus. For the next stop, we have Joann to guide you.
Good day, my dear tourist. I'm Joann Ruelan. You can call me Anne, your tour guide for today. Before we proceed, please wear your face mask and don't forget to bring your important things. Thank you. Please, before we enter, don't go too far to your group so that we're not getting trouble. So now, let us enjoy ourselves and gain more knowledge. So, let's go. May I have your attention, please? As you can see, the Jesus house is the oldest houses or Museo de Parian. The Museo de Parian is possibly one of the oldest houses in the country and was built century ago, supposedly during the same country when Yap San Diego constructed. Before we enter, I'd like to remind you the rules. Please observe silence and keep the artworks and artifacts no touching. The Yap San Diego Ancestral House in the Parian, Cebu City is one of the Philippines' oldest houses, have been built late 17th century during the country's Spanish colonial era. This two-story house built of coral stone and wood with Spanish-Chinese architectural influence was originally owned by the Chinese merchant named Don Juan Yap and Doa Maria Floredo. Along with their 3 children, the eldest daughter, great-great-grandson, converted into a museum in 2018, filling it with the antiquities, ancient artworks, religion icons, and Cebuano-made native furniture. The Parian Church was built in 1614. The house was built around 60 years later. said Santiago, a descendant from original owner Don Juan Yap and Dua Maria Floredo. The eldest daughter of the couple married Don Moriano Santiago of Abando, Bulacan, who was the cabeza de barangay chief during the Spanish colonial period of Barian, where the constructor is located. Did you know the current owner is a well-known choreographer and antiques collectors? Val Santiago is his name. Yap Santiago Ancestral House was constructed of a coral stone and leaf, earning it the nickname Balay nga Bato o Kahoy, which is still used by the locals. Any question? How you can handle the museum in terms of cleaning? Based on my research, they clean entire museum, but in terms of artworks, they clean gently by using soft cotton and cleaning materials. And now, I offer you a few minutes to take a picture. If my flag appears and you hear a whistle, it means your time is over. Collect in the center and we'll return to our bus so that we can go to your next location. I hope you have a good day. Thank you. Please allow me to present your next tour guide. Will be Mr. Val Napoleon.
Hello everyone, I am Val Napoleon Retiza. You can call me Val. Let me begin by wishing you everyone a warm welcome, and the bus will take you about 5 minutes to the next destination. But first, some friendly reminders. Firstly, remain seated until we reach our destination and do not eat or drink while on the bus. Secondly, please realize that it is against the law to get drunk in the public. Thank you. We don't have so much to see here along the way to Casa Gordo. Just buckle up and we are almost there. We just have arrived in Casa Gordo Museum. Reminding you all, before getting inside, we will be checking our temperature and get sanitized and wear your face mask as always. And please observe silence when you are in the museum. Thank you. The Casa Gordo Museum was originally a mansion erected by Alejandro Reyes y Rosales in the mid-19th century and purchased in 1863 by Juan Isidro de Gordo, a Spanish trader. This house was home to 4 generations of the Gordo family, including Juan Gordo, the first Filipino bishop of Cebu. From 1910 until 1932, the Ramon Aboitiz Foundation purchased the house in 1980 and repaired it before opening it as a public museum. The Casa Gordo Museum was designated as a National Historical Landmark on September 24, 1991 by National Historical Institute Board Resolution Number 4. The Casa Gordo is a living museum that is one of the 3 remaining historic houses in Cebu's Parian area that dates to the Spanish colonial period. Let me share you a story. Isidro Gordo used to live in the museum. There lived 4 generations of Gordos, including Juan Gordo, the first Filipino bishop of Cebu. The room where the family entertained suitors for their female members is one of my favorite parts of the house. The traditional courtship process is fascinating. The man will begin serenading from outside, sometimes with assistance of musicians. This is called the harana part. If the woman is interested, the man will be asked to go upstairs, hence the Tagalog phrase is akyat, which is go up, nang ligaw is courtship. The word combination doesn't make any sense in English, but you get the idea. Otherwise, she will simply shut the window. If the potential suitor persists, she can throw a pitcher of water or worse. If the man is summoned inside, he will be interrogated by the mother. So, where was the father during the questioning? He was listening from the next room. I hope he's not carrying a gun. Just kidding, tourists. Cebu City's most popular heritage sites. It's an excellent way to learn about Cebuano culture from the past. If you're visiting the Queen City of the South, we highly recommend stopping by here. Did you know that the Parian played an important role in Cebu's history over the last 450 years? It was traditionally the homes of many of Cebu's wealthiest families. Their economic success translated into social and political power. Since the 19th century, approximately 80 prominent families from this district have made contributions to the local and national scene in politics, education, civil works, the arts, and other fields. Alright everyone, I'll give you 20 minutes to take pictures and see the beautiful spots here in Casa Gordo. After that, we will gather around and go back to the bus. Alright tourists, we are now done here touring the Casa Gordo Museum. Let's go back to the bus right now and let me introduce the tour guide for our next destination, Ms. Racal.
Hello, it's me again, Jess. Are you guys alright? And now we are here in our 8th stop. Just to remind you that upon the entrance at the museum, minimal fees will be collected, usually used for maintenance, and a map of the place with the important information at the back will be provided as a guide. Taking pictures and videos inside the galleries is strictly prohibited. Are we all clear? Okay, let's go! Welcome to Cebu Provincial Museum, which is also known as Museo sa Subo. The museum was designed by Domingo de Escondrillas in 1869. It was originally proposed to be the main prison for the Visayan district because of its somewhat considerable size when it was constructed. The construction was started in 1871. And let me share you a short story. During the revolution, many of the Caputineros were incarcerated inside the Cárcel de Cebu without any trial. Many of them were eventually executed in the nearby Carreta Cemetery. The cárcel also served as the stable for horses competing in Hippodromo during the American era, but later on it became a prison again for both city and the province. Did you know that it was once called Cárcel de Cebu, the provincial jail of Cebu? It is now the Cebu Provincial Museum or the Museo Cebu. Feel free to roam around and discover the place. So guys, see you! Alright, I guess it's all done at our 8 stops, so we can go back to the bus. Make sure your important things is with you. Thank you so much for your cooperation. For our next stop, we have Val to guide you.
Thank you, Ms. Racal. Hi again, everyone. Are you feeling good? Alright. The bus ride takes you about 15 minutes. Right now, I'd like to take a minute to familiarize with the area and tell a brief safety precaution. You must fasten your seat belts and remain seated until we reach our destination. As you can see here in the left corner, we have a lot of automotive shop where the transportation will be fixed just like a taxi and jeepneys and private cars. Along the way, you can see there in your left corner, the CPILS stand for Cebu Pacific International Language School. It is the first of its kind to combine the educational benefits of one-to-one intensive English classes with interactive group classes. Other schools offer one or the other, but at CPILS students can enjoy the best of both worlds. The Philippines is the one only truly bilingual country in Asia. English is widely spoken all throughout the archipelago alongside with the Filipino language. On your right corner, while the bus is turning left, you can see there the Carita Cemetery, which is the oldest and biggest graveyard in Cebu City, Philippines. It is owned by a church built in 1906. Okay everyone, as you can see on your right corner again, that is the Cebu City, Philippines Temple. The Cebu Philippines Temple was the second temple built in the Philippines, which following the Middle Philippines Temple. The temple was announced in a letter to Filipino priesthood leaders on November 5, 2009. Well, we are almost there in Taoist Temple. You can see on your left corner the Beverly Hills, which is Beverly Hills is an upscale subdivision in Lahog, Cebu City. Philippines built on a hilly terrain that gives wide views of the city. It was named after Beverly Hills, California. Okay everyone, let me begin by wishing you everyone a warm welcome. Welcome to our final destination. But first, some friendly reminders. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Because you are entering a sacred area, you must treat it with respect by following the normal religious norms. Yes, you should adhere to the dress code. Approaching is restricted to people wearing sleeveless shirts and shorts. Silence should be maintained at all times inside the temple and even on the grounds. Cebu Taoist Temple is a well-known religious landmark in Cebu City. Built on a hill, it is not a tourist attraction, but it has gained popularity because to its unique structure and artistic appeal, which has attracted even non-believers in this faith. The temple is known as Gong, Palace, Guan or Miao in Chinese, and it is where religious ceremonies are held. The structure and function of a temple may vary depending on the Taoist school to which it belongs. The Taoist temple is a place of worship for Taoists, a religion founded on the teaching of Lao Tzu, an ancient Chinese philosopher. In the temple, devotees perform rites. One custom is to pray to the gods and request that they grant one's wish. Let me tell you a short story. In 1972, the Chinese of Cebu City constructed the Cebu Taoist Temple. This multi-tiered temple is located 300 meters above sea level on top of a tiny hill. It is the spiritual heart of Cebu's Taoist religion, but it is also open to non-believers. Many symbols and decoration in the Cebu Taoist Temple reflect the temple's follower beliefs. Temples with large windows, wide doors, and eaves carved with Chinese characters are common. The carvings are auspicious, Fu, blessing, Shu, longevity, and Ji, symbols is auspiciousness. Did you know in Taoism, green dragons symbolize good fortune and energy? It is also allows one person to reintegrate with his or her spiritual life. That's why in the Taoist temple, you will see a lot of dragon statues. The colors around the temple are also more on red and green, with their roofs having a pagoda-like design. Okay, tourists, you can now roam around and bear in mind you're predicted to recognize the vicinity by preserving the standard regulations in spiritual side. You could sit, loosen up, and enjoy the view. Okay, everyone, let's gather around and go back to the bus so that we can go back to your hotel. Alright, I guess you're having so much fun here in Cebu City. Have you learned a lot, tourists?
The image, the decoration, and the constructions was definitely beautiful.
I'm so happy I was able to visit Cebu City.
Yeah, Filipino are so kind and friendly.
All I can say is that all of the destinations included in this tour were really enjoyable and definitely worth experiencing. Thank you so much, tour guides.
Thank you so much, tourists, for the wonderful feedback. We really hope that you enjoyed your time here. Again, on behalf of City Glide Travel and Tours, we are very thankful for choosing us to become a part of your unforgettable trip here in Cebu City. We are looking forward for your next visit. Thank you and goodbye.